Alright, now that we have our background color done, our nice gradient fade, we're going to look at how to place a subordinate image or a secondary image of importance. But first we have to know how to clip an image before we put it in. So we're going to look specifically as how we clip an image. And you've all seen pictures in a magazine or newspaper where part of the subject comes out of the frame and overlaps something. And so we're going to learn how to remove some of the color from an image. So we're going to go into our movie poster folder and we're going to pick our screenshot from the video footage that we used. We're going to click on our screenshot, and okay, this is the picture we want to use. It has all the detail, the exact proportions. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open that with Photoshop. It probably is already open with Photoshop. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I have my marching ants, my marquee tool, my selection area down here from the last time I used it. To make that go away, Command D, which is deselect. So now we're back to our basic image. So we're going to look at several ways that we can clip out the information we don't want. So we basically want everything above the berm, the rider, and the flow of the dirt, which we call the roost in motocross. Easiest way is to use these tools over here. Now there's some more advanced methods that we won't get into now, but we're going to look at some of the most basic and quick ways to do this. So we're going to select the magic wand. If you click on this little arrow, it's going to give you a choice on the very bottom right hand corner of a couple different choices, the quick selection tool or the magic wand. The magic wand is kind of like your, let's take a good chance and see what it can pick. So I'm going to click the color out here, and everything that's within these marching ants is going to disappear if I hit the delete button. Do that first like we did with our other image. We're going to drag the lock down to the trash can. Now this layer is unlocked. I hit delete, and now you see this checkerboard behind it. That checkerboard tells you that this is blank space. So if I lay this on top of another image, it's going to be gone. And the great thing about the quick selection tool is you can make quick work of a lot of information you don't need in a photo. There's a big chunk of information I don't want here. Trees, I don't want that. And what it's doing, it's selecting a range of colors or a range of pixels. And so it's getting rid of some large chunks of things I don't want. The problem is, however, if I click in here, you're going to see it starts to eat into his helmet. So the quick selection tool, while it works good for some things, can also damage our source photo, and we don't want to do that. Again here, I want to make sure that it's not chewing up too much of the fender, the hand. That looks a little chewed up, so I'm gonna specifically go in and probably take care of that with a different tool. Okay, so the next tool we're going to look at is the polygonal lasso tool. This allows me to draw lines specifically around what I want. But before I do that, I'm going to zoom into the image. And the way you do that is hold the command key and then hit the plus button. And that zooms in at what we call a pixel level. See, now at a pixel level, I'm seeing the squares of the photo. So this is going to allow me to come in and choose some information that I specifically want to make sure I save. And I wasn't happy with the way the magic wand was eating away some of the front fender. So I'm just going to click. And everywhere I'm clicking, I'm setting an anchoring point. So this way I can specifically choose what is going to be in and outside. Now, especially right here where you see it kind of blurs, I'm going to cheat a little bit to the inside, and I'm going to get rid of a little bit of the color, because that way I don't get those annoying shadows. And then you can even choose to do things where, like, maybe the knee won't look right in the photo. You can crop some things out like that at your discretion, at your choosing. So I'm going to come up here, and then if you just drag this up, I'm going to come up here and try to find a line of what looks to be probably the levers. And notice how I'm just kind of trying to make smooth clicks. We're at a pixel level, so when we go back out to normal, it's going to look pretty decent. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to click over here. I'm going to click over here. I'm going to drag this over. And I'm going to come down to where I started originally until I see the little circle. Circle's gone, circle appears. I'm going to click. Now I've made a complete box, and everything within those marching ants, when I hit delete, is gone. I'm going to use Command minus to step back out. And you're probably wondering why I didn't go ahead and choose everything. Well, the reason for that is it's a very tedious process, and if you miss something and then you accidentally hit delete or you mess up, you've just lost a bunch of work. So I prefer to delete stuff in small chunks. So what I'm going to do now, Command minus, to go back one more time so I can see the full view of the picture. I've got the exact cut I need right there. Again, if I hit Command D, makes the marching ants go away. I'm going to try the magic wand tool one more time and see if I can't get rid of large portions of some of this stuff. And sometimes with Magic Wand, if you drag, like I did right here, I'm going to click and drag. Sometimes it'll choose bigger chunks of color. And then what that allows me to do is get rid of some more large chunks. I'm just going to hit delete. I'm going to come down here. That's doing a nice job of everything, but look, it's eating into my rear fender. I really don't want that. So before I get rid of anything else, I'm going to go back to my polygonal lasso tool. I'm going to go in, I'm going to finish Command plus to zoom in, again at a pixel level. I'm going to finish just cutting out my rider, because the rider is important here. And I want to make sure we don't have some part of his helmet or his body missing, something that will break the reality of the movie poster. And then up here where it gets a little blurry, I've got to kind of judge the shape of the helmet with the goggle straps. I've got to kind of approximate where kind of the natural flow would look. We've already lost some of his, and there I don't like that sharp angle. If I hit delete, it makes my last anchor point go away. I can come in and I can kind of lay a little bit smoother cut around his neck brace here. Pick up part of his shoulder here off his white uniform. I'm going to follow this all the way down, and this is a very precise and tedious process. And this is actually not the most tedious of ways to do it. And I want to pick a little bit of this rooster, this dirt flying up underneath the fender. So I'm going to come out like this and just kind of collect some of that. Come up here, give myself plenty of room, come back, get my 0, delete that chunk. While I'm in here too, I want this to be a nice sharp cut in order to show through. So the quick selection tool with the magic wand is nice because it selects large chunks of information, but it tends to be a little jagged. And this is a spot we're going to need to be very precise because your dominant image is going to show through the back of it. So I'm going to click until I get this circle. Hit delete, Command minus to zoom back out. I've got my rider cropped out pretty good. I'm going to use the quick selection tool to let it pick up the range of dirt that I don't want. I'm going to hit delete. I actually want a little bit more roost than that. So I'm going to go Command Z to undo, Command D to deselect, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. I want to find a lighter color. I'm going to find one of the lightest colors I can and just see if I can't kind of hold together a little bit more of this dirt spray. That's still probably a little much. A little bit lighter color. Really like those objects right there. So I'm going to Command D. I'm going to zoom in one more time. It may help, it may not. Okay, I get a little bit of dirt spray out here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit delete. Zoom back out. And I've got what I think is a nice jagged dirt spray. I don't really like this this spot right here, so I'm probably going to modify that with my polygonal lasso tool. So I'm going to go back over to my toolbar, click my polygonal lasso, and I'm going to choose probably just to get rid of a little bit of this. Just make it kind of jagged like dirt would look. Okay, that looks more realistic to me. I want to leave a little bit of this dirt spray for the illusion on the poster, so I'm going to try to select between it, come out here, and then I'm going to go really wide. I'm going to leave a border here just so I can show you another tool that we have to use. So I'm trying to get underneath the spots I don't want. Go around my rider to protect that image. I'm going to leave a little bit of that dirt right there, like it's flinging up in the air. I'm going to delete all this. Well, now here's the problem. We've got some of this excess material out here on the edges. Another great way to delete stuff, I'm going to go Command D. I'm going to pick the marquee tool, the rectangular marquee tool. And what I can do now is I can draw rectangles out to the edge and delete chunks of information that I don't want. So it's a great way to make sure that all the way out to the border I didn't miss something and have a straight line show up on my final project.